Yo, what's good, man? It's your boy Derek Branch here of Saint Discussions on Strike 7 Sports. In today's video, I just want to go ahead and talk about what went down yesterday during the AFC Championship game between the Baltimore Ravens and the Kansas City Chiefs, and that's concerning Saints wide receiver, which looks to be former Saints wide receiver in the near future, Michael Thomas. So while the game was going on between the Ravens and the Chiefs, Michael Thomas posted a series of tweets directed at the Saints organization, excuse me, exposing their flaws as a team and how Derek Carr pretty much ended his season by that hospital ball he threw. And it is a barrage of things he said in those tweets, man. He talked about Derek Carr, talked about how he spoke up for Chris Olave when I think Dennis Allen and Derek Carr threw him under the bus, saying that he ran the wrong route after the Jacksonville game. He talked about the possibility of playing for the Kansas City Chiefs. Talked about how he could have had 1,000 yards. I'm paraphrasing everything he's saying, but he could have had 1,000 yards this season, but they hardly threw him the football and he barely got targeted and all that. It was just a lot of things he talked about. He talked about Jeff Duncan and the Oracle's hero, and they got a history. They got a history of a while back, and this doesn't like a negative history, because some articles that he wrote, Jeff Duncan wrote about Thomas in the past about how they should trade him, and he was the one. Jeff Duncan is the one that put that story out back in I think it was 2021, I believe, or 2022. I think it was 2021, where he talking about how Michael Thomas didn't, elect to get that surgery when he was supposed to. It was a big mess, man. But anyways, man, he back to what happened yesterday. So when those tweets came out, it was just now that those tweets have been put out, now that the fan base is for Michael Thomas and they're against him. People trying to justify what Thomas did yesterday as being the right thing to do, and there's people that were to move on from it. Kind of like taking the side of the Saints organization by saying that Thomas has been unreliable since he got paid and things like that. And the way I see it, man, the way I see it, based on everything that's been put out by Thomas, I see it like this, man. Michael Thomas, good dude, one of my favorite players, one of my favorite Saints players of all time. I think he is the best wide receiver in Saints history. He got the numbers to prove it. Everything. Reliable player when he's healthy. But going forward, man, I just think it's just over now. It's over between him and the Saints organization. The injury that occurred back in 2020 when he was in there on a blocking assignment, and Latavius Murray fell on his ankle, messed it up, and pretty much derailed his career from that point forward. It's unfortunate, but it's time to move on. Time for both parties to separate, and maybe it should have been done last season, at the end of last season, but it didn't. They tried to bring him back and see if it could work, but it never worked out. And that's largely because Derek Carr, just didn't fully understand his offense and how it worked. You know what I'm saying? And I felt as though if Thomas could come back and he could stay healthy for most of the season, I felt as though if he could give the Saints 800 to 1,000 yard, roughly 1,000 yard season, 900 yard season, a few touchdowns, that would have helped out. That would have helped his team out, but it didn't happen. It just didn't work out that way. There were reports during the training camp that him and Derek Carr weren't on the same page. It's out there. You know what I'm saying? And it just didn't materialize to what we thought it was going to turn out to be. Now, mind you that Thomas was the one that advocated for Carr to come to the Saints. He was. And what happened between now and then, something has to happen. I think it's bigger than that, man. You know what I'm saying? For him to like Thomas just to like excuse me, change course on the dude and just talk with him like that on social media. Something had to happen. But I have one thing to say on that though. On him calling out calling out Derek Carr on social media like that. Or this Derek Carr speaking on the players during the players, you know, Derek Carr not being accountable or speaking on the players like that in front of the media. Um, whatever happened to speaking about this stuff like a man to man behind closed doors, instead of putting the stuff out, airing the stuff out on social media for everybody to see, and that stuff. We put that stuff out like that. It you know, the algorithms, social media algorithms, you know, cater to that type of stuff because it causes division. You know, it causes, you know, people going at it with one another, outrage, and the Saints fan base is already outraged. You know, so I just felt it should have been handled a little differently though. But I do, you know, agree with Thomas to a certain extent, but I think it should have been handled in a different way, man. Just do it behind the scenes, bro. Just talk. You and Derek Carr, Derek Carr, Dennis Allen, Pete Carmichael, at the time. Talk about it behind the scenes, man to man. Be a man about it instead of going to social media. If you got issue with Derek Carr, talk to him. Call him on the phone. I'm pretty sure y'all got each other's cell number. You know what I'm saying? But it's over for Michael Thomas here, man. In New Orleans, it's over. You know, but I think he can go somewhere else and be a productive receiver. Not somebody that's WR1, not a number one wide out, but he could be a reliable number two. And where those places are at, I think that three of the teams that could use Thomas's services played yesterday. Three of them. I'm gonna name them right now: the Baltimore Ravens, the Kansas City Chiefs, and the Detroit Lions. They could use Michael Thomas. They really can. I could see him playing really good in these three of those offenses. The Lions, they only got Amon-Ra St. Brown to the football team. As a wide receiver threat, if we're being honest. Let's go ahead and add Michael Thomas on the second on the other side. Michael Thomas, Sam Laporta, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jahmyr Gibbs. That's really a scary offense. Kansas City Chiefs. You got Rashee Rice, who's going to be your future wide receiver, your future WR1. But outside of Rice, who you have? You know, and it probably. I'm holding off on my Super Bowl pick, but they need another guy. Chiefs need another wide receiver. You know, Baltimore. Zay Flowers was a great selection, but what you got on the outside? Outside of that, I don't think it's Odell Beckham. Rashad Bateman can't stay healthy, so why not sign Michael Thomas? So there are options out there for him, and I don't think him going on social media like that, lighting up, lighting up the Saints like that, in front of in public is gonna cause him any opportunities. I really don't think that. You know what I'm saying? But just it's time to separate ties, man. It's time to cut ties between him and the Saints organization. It just is. And something else he mentioned yesterday is that what I find interesting. He stated that Jeff ain't gonna tell you why nobody's has interest. They're having a hard time filling out a vacant offensive coordinator role. We don't really know, man, but we don't know. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think Thomas knows why um, nobody has taken that. And they have not offered the job yet to potential offensive coordinator prospect. You know what I'm saying? But um, it's just the thing is, Michael Thomas been like that though. He been like that for a while. He was like that with Sean Payton and Drew Brees. The difference is, um, when Sean Payton and Drew Brees were still around, they won football games. They got into the playoffs. They won division titles. So nobody really cared what he really tweeted. You know, now that the Saints are losing, they're not getting to the playoffs, and there's disgruntlement, you know, among players. Everything is put out now. Everything is viewed as negative, you know, and the players, the fans, and I'm not telling nobody how to be a fan, a Saints fan, but they always, to me, it's split right now. It's 50-50. You know, and people siding with the team, siding with Dennis Allen, people siding with Michael Thomas. Me, I'm neither. I'm pro getting it right. I'm pro turning it around. I'm pro common sense. You know what I'm saying? So, marriage is over between Michael Thomas and the New Orleans Saints. It was a great run. Broke a lot of records here. Hey, I think he got to put his with 2017, 16, 17, 18, 19. You got to put those 4 years. His 4 years is like, I would say he had the greatest 4 years for an NFL wide receiver. Like, you have to rank it among the top 5, top 10. He has to be like top 10. Greatest 4-year run of an NFL wide receiver. You gotta have Michael Thomas' name in there, along with Jerry Rice, Calvin Johnson, Marvin Harrison. You have to put Michael Thomas's 4 years in New Orleans from 2016 to 2019 as 4 of the greatest years that we've seen, and voted the greatest runs we've seen by a wide receiver from a production standpoint. You know, and who knows if we'll get a wide receiver like that again. You know, I'm not the one to say that AT Perry is gonna pick off where Thomas left behind and put up them type of numbers. I'm not gonna say that because I mean to me they got different skill sets, man. You know what I'm saying? Between Perry and Michael Thomas. You know what I'm saying? But looking forward to seeing what he does in his offense. And I think if I'm the Saints, I'm looking to get another wide receiver, add another wide receiver to the group. You know, but it is what it is, man. I'm just ready for that stuff to be over with, bro. Ready for that to be over with, and they can move forward. Thomas can move forward with his new team. Dennis Allen could, you know, establish the culture that he wants us to have with this team going forward. I'm looking forward to seeing how he does that in the future. So we'll see how it play out. That's all I have for y'all for right now, man. Give me a like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Let me know how you feel. What were your thoughts on what Michael Thomas put out yesterday? And check out SaintsDiscussions.com for latest content in the One Saints organization. Have a blessed day. Peace. I'm out. Who that?